bound this morning. If you are taking the Stevenson from 355 into downtown, it's a pretty long trip, an hour and 6 minutes now, and just about 50 minutes heading in from the Tri-State. Really busy before Harlem to Kedzie, and then real slow again just past the Dan Ryan onto those Lakeshore Drive ramps because of the work. If you're outbound, it's not as bad. 40 minutes to get to 355, and we're seeing a tight spot there just before First Avenue to LaGrange. Back to you.
All right, we've taken the show to Studio 32, looking down upon the Fox Plaza below us, and Lizzie Schiffman-Tufano is with us from DNA Info. Lizzie, good to see you.
Great to be here.
Always good to see you. So let's talk about this Target that's going up in the Lakeview area. The residents there say, bring it on.
That's right. This is a sort of an interesting role reversal from the narrative we usually hear with a big box store coming into the neighborhood, where small businesses feel threatened and say they're worried that, you know, a Target or a Walmart is going to take a lot of their foot traffic. But the small business owners in Central Lakeview are actually told our neighborhood reporter Ariel Chung that they think it's not going to hurt their business. In fact, they're optimistic that the Target will bring more business to Belmont, to Broadway, to the downtown area. And they've got a few stories specific to that neighborhood that support that. There's Unabridged Bookstore, a locally owned shop that's been there for years. For a long time, they were sandwiched between two borders. Both the borders closed, and the Unabridged Bookstore is still there. Neighbors say they go there for something different. They go there for a shop owner that knows their name, that will set aside a book for them. So a lot of business in the area that would compete with the things that Target say. They don't feel threatened, and they're excited to have it join the neighborhood.
That's good to hear.
And Lizzie, it's not one of those full-size Targets we're familiar with in the suburbs.
That's right. It's like one of those express Targets, so it's got a smaller footprint, a more restricted selection of goods, but at the same time, a lot of the same stuff you can find at the small shops nearby, but people say they're going to shop them both.
All right.
Still Target.
What about the store you guys have that suggests yellow cabs are safer than other colored cabs?
That's right. So that's a recent study from the University of Chicago found that yellow taxis compared to blue taxis are 9% less likely to get into accidents with pedestrians and other cars because they're more visible. And kind of a funny throwback, apparently the Chicago Yellow Cab Company more than 100 years ago decided to make their taxis yellow in the first place because of a University of Chicago study in 1907 that said that yellow cabs would be more visible to potential customers looking for a car.
So the burgundy, the orange that we're looking at in video there, even the green and white, forget about it.
They're all over, but they say it's better to be yellow. You can't lose. Fewer accidents, more customers. That's the way to go.
A little bit of color in your life. Okay,
Absolutely.
so now let's go back. Talk about a Sweet Tuesday. Let's talk about the brownie.
Oh my God, I can barely watch these videos or look at these photos without
really
getting hungry. So I never knew this. The brownie originated in Chicago. It was invented by Bertha Palmer, the wife of the founder of Palmer House, for the Columbia World Exposition. She wanted to have a special, unique dessert for the ladies she was inviting to an event in Chicago. And she said, make it kind of like a cookie, but it has to be really, really chocolatey because she's a chocolate fanatic. So one of our reporters, Kelly Bauer, went behind the scenes at Palmer House and got the full recipe on how they make their insanely decadent brownies. For example, that is a pound of butter they just dumped in there. Not a diet food, but there's some really interesting ingredients. They have nuts on top, plus an apricot glaze.
All the eggs that just went into that.
I can't. I have to go get one right now.
Good video there.
I did not know the brownie was created first in Chicago.
It was.
I didn't know
it's a Chicago original.
And that yellow cab study, that's really good too. What's your website so people can find out some of the other stories you're working on there?
DNAinfo.com, Chicago.
All right, Lizzie.
Lizzie, good to see you.
Great to be here. Thanks, guys.
Let me elbow you there, shoulder you there. From Corey to you, okay?
Thanks.
Just going through me.
All right, let's send it back downstairs to Richard Roper. Hey, Rich.
Always fascinating stuff from DNA Info. All right, coming up next, she's a star who's become known as being just like us. And now Chrissy Teigen is opening up about her latest motherhood struggle, postpartum depression.